Brian, Lance mentioned on Saturday just about Kobe, basically one of his first plays back. I think actually may have been the first play back, getting the interception. Just what do you think about him being able to get in so quick and making a difference?
Well, yeah, I'm glad he did. And he'd done a really good job of rehab and really serious about it. So I think he got back as fast as he could, and we know he's one of our best players. He's probably our best cover guy out there. At least amongst the best, and so to get him out there was great. And then, like I said, he showed up. He showed up just like you'd want him to, right on time.
Lance said that he saw like a different side of Kobe. I guess, did you see that too? And if so, how did that manifest for you?
Yeah, maybe what he's talking about was just the rehab process, and just really taking it serious and doing all that he should, and probably diligently doing more, doing the extra, and with the intent of getting back as fast as he could, and because it was important to him, and I think that's probably what he's talking about. And so maybe that's a stepping stone on the way for his own just development in every area, and just just what can happen when a guy really applies himself.
Coach was also talking about your linebacker depth, I think specifically with Lorenzo and Eric, and what they can do inside, and with that second unit. How much has that helped just your overall defense, and what have you liked about what those guys have brought this year?
Yeah, I sort of look at all those guys as they're they don't all start, but they're all starting caliber players for us. So we really try to use them interchangeably as much as we can. I think if you looked at the rep counts, like Lorenzo he might have played more than Taiwan Berryhill the other day. So, but those two guys that you mentioned they're physical players, and so they give us that element that we need. And I said they're growing, still continuing to, it's still their first year no matter what you say in a system. So I think as they're getting more comfortable with things, they're able to play at a pretty high rate, and said they're certainly helping us, just sharing the load at those positions. And I think it's we're maintaining good productivity.
Lance said patience was what he preached to Lorenzo. I'm sure all of you did. Lorenzo was just in here and said patience was really hard. Did you have any or extensive conversations with him about hang in there,
yeah,
it's coming?
Just time to time, and if you're always hammering him with that stuff, then that becomes an issue, sometimes. So just at the right times, at the right moments, when you sense a frustration or something, to me, I'm a much better come up alongside of a guy and talk to him in a personable manner, and so just try to encourage him. And yeah, he's obviously where he was at before, he played more snaps and all those kind of things, but it's just the world we find ourselves in here. So that's an adaptation that I think once I don't know, accepting it's not the right word, but once he became okay with that part of it, and just see things for really what they are. We've had, I can't say it was ever just issues with him. It's less of an issue now. It's just this is how we're gonna roll. So I think he's bought into that piece, and it's obviously it's showing itself in a positive way.
Hey Brian, you talk about depth of linebacker. You guys are also rotating in a lot of bodies at defensive tackle. How's it help those guys?
Yeah, well, I think they're all still playing, so that's obviously the big way is to it keeps guys healthy. So yeah, that's there's just a lot of weight and a lot of beef moving around in there on both sides of the line, and you only got so much before you need a break. And so to have guys that we can put in, we play 6 defensive tackles every game, and they all probably take at least 10 reps and above. So to have that, I think that just keeps guys fresher, helps them to play harder and longer. I think they spend a lot of energy probably running on and off the field, because we do a lot of substitutes with them also. When the offense is going fast and the offense substitutes, then we always counter with the substitute ourselves to kind of slow the game down a little bit. And it's that position, those guys those guys do a lot of running on and off the field, you know, kind of getting in some good cardiovascular work as well. So, yeah, so I'm happy about that, and I think if we didn't, we probably wouldn't see the production in there consistently like we are now. So happy about that.
You talked about running on and off because teams are going fast. Obviously, you're going to face another one this week. Just talk about that.
Yeah, it's becoming, you know, pretty commonplace here towards since Oklahoma on. You know, we've played a lot of that, and I think you saw last Saturday against Oklahoma State. That stuff wasn't even an issue to me. We really put an emphasis in practicing that way, more so than we had in the past. We tried to do different things in practice to simulate pace of game, and our guys they knew that, hey, we need to adjust to this. We got to be lined up. We got to be squared away when the ball snaps. So I think that's helped, and like I said, we're out there today. We're doing much of the same thing, because you're right. I think I don't know. I was counting plays, watching film, and I think Texas Tech versus Texas, I think I remember seeing play number 109. So that's you know, they're moving fast as anybody in the country. So, but again, the more we find effective ways to work on it, the less of an obstacle that is. So I feel like it's just going to go fast, and we'll be prepared.
So how much did the Oklahoma tape help you with the improved tempo play against Oklahoma State? How much did the bye help? And then do you like having to go against a tempo team back to back, as opposed to it being like 1 week and then 3 weeks down the road where you can kind of keep doing the same thing?
Yeah, to your last point, there's a lot of in those teams. There's usually a lot of similarity in what they do, how they line up, things they do. So yeah, from that standpoint, it's been kind of seamless, just 1 week to the next. Yeah, so getting to, you know, having to do it more often on a weekly basis, it only helps us. And I don't know that I'm a huge fan of having to do all that all the time, but the fact that we do have to, and we prepare, the more you do it, the less of a big deal it is anymore. And that's just football. So that's the football world we live in. So that's playing defense isn't probably very easy right now, and that's just part of it, and big deal. That's what we do.
You held Oklahoma State under 4 yards per carry. What got back to the good run defense? What was the biggest key for turning that back around?
Yeah, as I'd always say every week about, you really got to limit run game success, and I think we were able to do that. We were able to play physically and you know, create a lot of we call them havoc kind of plays, where you're disrupting the offense and getting them off their track, and so we were able to do that in the run game. I don't think they really didn't have, consistently have much big gains of any of those kind of things, and we got them into some third down situations where probably for the first time in a while we were able to be pretty successful on some third down situations where we really hadn't been in the past. So, and if we look at the games we've really performed well in, conference games in particular, we've done well in some third and mediums and third and longs. We've done a lot better. The games the games we haven't done well in, we've been not very successful in those situations. So I think one kind of leads to the other, and I think our guys, we were confident in the plan that we had and how we were going to do things, and it kind of unfolded that way. So I'm thankful for that.